Where does sadness come from? We treat it like a flaw, a crack in the glass, something to fix, to hide, to escape. But what if sadness isn't a mistake? What if it's a messenger? It often arrives quietly, in the middle of laughter, in the pause between conversations, in the quiet after everyone else has gone to sleep. It seeps in, not to destroy you, but to speak, because sadness, unlike fear or anger, doesn't shout, it waits, and when you finally stop running, it asks you to listen. Sadness comes when there's been a break, between what is and what was meant to be. It shows up when reality doesn't match our hopes, when someone leaves, when time moves too fast, when we realize we can't go back. It's grief, yes, but not always for someone else. Sometimes it's grief for versions of ourselves we had to leave behind. And in that sense, sadness is a form of love. Love for what mattered, even if it couldn't stay. Some sadness is ancient. It lives in the body like memory, passed down through silence, through stories never told. Other times it comes suddenly, a wave crashing over a quiet shore. But all sadness points to something important. That you felt, that you cared, that you were open enough to be touched. And that matters. In a world obsessed with happiness, sadness gets buried beneath distractions. Scroll it away, drink it down, laugh louder, work harder, numb faster. But sadness doesn't vanish when ignored. It waits, and it builds, until one day it rises like mist and covers everything, not to punish you, but to finally be felt. So where does sadness come from? It comes from love, from memory, from longing for something truer than the present moment allows. It comes from the tension between our soul's depth and the world's demand for surfaces. But most of all, sadness comes from being human. You weren't meant to feel joy without contrast. You weren't meant to float above it all untouched. You were meant to break sometimes, and from those cracks, to see light in new ways. Sadness isn't weakness. It's a signal, a reminder that something mattered, that something needs space, that something inside you is still alive. So sit with it. Don't rush it out the door. Let it speak. And you may find that sadness doesn't hollow you out. It hollows you open.